punching down. But people nowadays want you to believe that words are actual violence, right? Now, you laughed at a joke about beating up a disabled toddler.
Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal.
Did you know Ricky Gervais once said, if you try and please everyone, you'll please no one?
Personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one.
Well, he's definitely not trying to please Hollywood. In fact, he's been tearing them a new one, and they're not happy about it. But how did we get here? There's a moment when every comedian has to decide, play it safe or risk it all. For Ricky Gervais, that moment changed everything, and Hollywood never saw it coming. Ricky Gervais didn't just wake up one day and decide to torch Hollywood. His journey from sitcom star to celebrity nemesis was a slow burn, fueled by a growing frustration with the hypocrisy he saw in Tinseltown. Remember The Office? That awkward, cringe-worthy masterpiece that made us all squirm. That was Gervais testing the waters. He wasn't afraid to make us uncomfortable then, and he sure as hell isn't now. But back then, he was punching down at middle management. Now he's aiming straight for the A-list.
As the creator of The Office? No, you don't, do you?
You think Steve Carell did it all? Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell?
Punching down. But people nowadays want you to believe that words are actual violence, right? Now, you laughed at a joke about beating up a disabled toddler.
As Gervais's star rose, so did his willingness to push boundaries. His Golden Globes appearances became less about gentle ribbing and more about dropping truth bombs. He wasn't just there to make jokes. He was there to make a point, and boy, did he make it. At the 2020 Golden Globes, Gervais went nuclear. He called out Apple for running sweatshops in China while preaching about morality. He told celebs to stop lecturing the public about politics.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world.
He even joked about Jeffrey Epstein. No one was safe. But here's the thing, Gervais isn't just trying to be shocking for the sake of it. He's got a philosophy, and it's pretty simple. Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal.
Go online and leave a comment. You might as well go and read Toilet Walls to get upset about them. I have never been upset by anyone on Twitter. I'm too happy.
In a world where everyone's walking on eggshells, Gervais is stomping around in steel-toed boots. This mindset sets him apart from his peers. While other comedians are apologizing for old tweets, Gervais is doubling down. He's not interested in playing nice or following the rules of woke culture. He's interested in telling jokes and speaking his mind. And guess what? People are listening. With each appearance, each controversial joke, Gervais's fan base grows. He's tapping into something, a frustration with Hollywood's preaching, a desire for someone to cut through the BS. Turns out, being the guy who says what everyone's thinking has its risks. Gervais's Netflix special Supernature was about to test just how much truth the entertainment industry could handle. Would this be the moment Hollywood finally fought back? Gervais didn't just push buttons with Supernature.
Supernature dropped on Netflix last year. Big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can't. Oxbridge comedians writing for the posh papers, telling you the rules of comedy. They're laying it down, laying down the law, right? And it's all stuff like, comedy should punch up.
He smashed them. His jokes about Caitlyn Jenner hit a nerve, especially when he used her former name. Critics called it dead naming.
That I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name.
Gervais called it acknowledging reality. I found out my crime was that I dead named her, Gervais explained. She did, sure, we all saw the Olympic Games. It was all over the place. He wasn't trying to be cruel. He was pointing out how absurd it is to pretend someone's past never existed. But Hollywood wasn't laughing. The backlash was swift and fierce. Gervais was accused of transphobia, insensitivity, and just being a jerk. But here's the thing, he didn't back down. He doubled down.
And even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did.
I saw him on the Olympic Games.
Gervais argued that acknowledging someone's history isn't offensive, it's just stating facts. It's absurd to act like Bruce Jenner never existed, he said. And you know what? A lot of people agreed with him. Well, the Twitter mob was losing their minds. Something interesting happened. Gervais's popularity skyrocketed. Turns out there's a whole bunch of folks out there who are sick of walking on eggshells. They're tired of being told what they can and can't say, and they found their champion in Ricky Gervais. This wasn't just about comedy anymore. It was about free speech. It was about pushing back against a culture that seems more concerned with feelings than facts. And Gervais was leading the charge.
Are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like? I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
He took aim at the idea that comedy should only punch up. According to Gervais, sometimes you've got to punch down. If you're beating a disabled toddler, he joked, making the point that humor doesn't always follow neat power dynamics. The controversy around Supernature didn't just boost Gervais's profile, it sparked a larger conversation about the role of comedy in society. Are there really topics that are off limits? Who gets to decide what's offensive? And is being offended really the worst thing that can happen to someone? As the dust settled, a surprising question emerged. Was Gervais actually saving comedy? By punching in every direction, he sparked a debate that goes beyond laughs. It's about free speech, societal norms, and who gets to decide what's funny. Gervais isn't just pushing buttons, he's rewriting the rule book. Take his view on punching up in comedy. While some say comedians should only target those in power, Gervais argues that sometimes you've got to punch down. He's not afraid to joke about sensitive topics, saying, "You laughed at a joke about beating up a disabled toddler because you know it's not real." This approach has opened up a whole can of worms. Is comedy supposed to have rules? Who makes them? And what happens when someone like Gervais comes along and breaks them all? Gervais' impact on the comedy landscape is hard to ignore. He's inspired other comedians to push boundaries and challenge societal norms. It's like he's given them permission to say what they really think, consequences be damned.
This is now they have free speech zones, which sounds cool and nice, but not that long ago, the entire university was a free speech zone.
I want him to start saying, I found it offensive. Because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
But it's not just about comedy. Gervais has taken aim at the concept of free speech zones on university campuses. He thinks it's ridiculous that places meant for free thought need designated areas for free speech. Free speech is supposed to be a given, especially in places of learning, he says. This kind of talk has sparked some serious conversations about free expression and the role of comedy in society. People are asking tough questions. Is being offended really the worst thing that can happen to someone? Are there topics that should be off limits? And if so, who gets to decide? Gervais' approach has its critics, for sure, but it's also got a lot of people thinking. Maybe there's value in pushing boundaries and making people uncomfortable. Maybe that's how we grow as a society. And here's the kicker, Gervais doesn't seem to care what anyone thinks. He's secure in himself and unaffected by online trolls. He even suggests that those who are constantly offended might be unhappy themselves. It's a perspective that's making waves in a world obsessed with not offending anyone.